Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? We finished the last episode in this room, and we're starting it over here again, with a few minor adjustments. Still, not too many things have changed. You provide spruce, you still get casings. And do you notice a giant flaw? Input is on 2 conveyor belts, output is on 1 conveyor belt. We need to do some traffic control. It is going to be a bit slower, but at least we would be able to manage the traffic. So the first one is going to be for andesite, brass and copper casings. The second line is going to be for inscribers. You don't really need to have chutes, but symmetry is important. I'm assuming this is already very simple. Silicon, logic, calculation and engineering. The thing is, the inscribers that we have over here are incredibly slow. You see? That's the speed. I'm hoping with Create this is going to be extremely faster. And yes, if it's not obvious, I need storage. So silicon, logic, calculation and engineering. Of course, that is the first step. We just get the circuit. In order to get the processor itself, we're going to need a new line. Just a very small clarification, nothing is fully automated yet, meaning that it's not hooked up to our applied energistic system because we are going to need a few more gizmos. But in general, if we put gold over here, see what happens. We should get logic processors. Nice. And again, since symmetry is important, the ender chest is down here. Essentially what we are doing is that we want to check if the filtering system works, and if it works, I'm good. Seems it does. Now that the part with processors is done, we come to washing. We need to wash dust in order to get some Skystone so that we would be able to expand our controller as well as getting better storage components. And as usual, it's a garbage chance, so the more we have the better. To be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure how everything is going to work, it's too dark, but essentially what I want to happen is that I want the mechanical arm to pick up the dust from this barrel, so hence you're going to get a funnel, and by barrel I meant the depot, and he should be able to place it on top of these depots. So if I place down the hammer, you're facing the incorrect way. This way? Nope, this way. Yes. If we give you 3 times compressed sand, you should be able to do something. Yes, you do. And yeah, everything works flawlessly. You know, I'm going through funnels and tunnels so fast, just make me 100. Anyways, we are going to have a barrel over here so that we can place everything on the conveyor belt. Oops. And 1 funnel on the other side so that it would place it on the conveyor belt. And of course, the mechanical arm. So you take items from the depot and put it in the funnel. And obviously the most important part is that we're going to need a filter deny list for dust, so we don't have to pick it up. I know I'm not gonna pick it up. The arm is just an arm, doesn't have a brain. I'm really hoping the power is going to be enough. Yes, it is. Nice. It doesn't really have to be the fastest thing in the world because we don't need that much Skystone. But so far so good. Yeah, we have 19. Great. So just to make this guy fully automatic, what we're going to do is that we're going to remove this barrel, the input, and instead we're going to have a refined EMC link with compressed sound. Okay, now that we have access to Skystone, I can have more channels and therefore I should be able to expand our base. So let us make a pattern for the controller. And yeah, I'm running out of slots. That's not good. We are probably going to fix it. Don't you worry. Well, so far we have 80. That's really good. So we enrich you, we get the actual Skystone. Shift clicking no longer works, I don't know why. And then we just smelt you, right? Yes. All of that being done, can you make me 20 more controllers? Yes, you can. Amazing. Oh, and by the way, while we are doing all of this, I'm also making nether star singularities. So far we have 20, which is not much. And I think we're going to need somewhere around 5.2 million nether stars, which is quite a bit, I guess. That's the problem, we're out of emeralds. I have no idea why I decided not to use an EMC link and use the chests, but that is fine. We can fuel it with red matter. I imported so many by accident. Actually, we have fading matter. We can use that. Can you make me like 30 more? Easily. Yeah, you see the boo-boos? We have 1.6 million magenta matter. But at least it has a singularity. Just before we move on with a few more automations, there is something that is bothering me a lot. Do you see this compressor? Do you notice a flaw? It's incredibly slow. Very slow. For some reason, I think they have done this on purpose because it shouldn't be this slow. You should be able to put stacks and stacks in and it should consume stacks and stacks. But then again, this is from the same mod which gives you an infinity breastplate with 12 armor. So I think we should start making more Neutronium compressors and start making more singularities. Let's do that. We can make 7. Great. We are going to use these Neutronium compressors for singularities which do have EMC. And I did notice there's actually quite a bit of them. For example, pallets. What the heck is a pallet? It's such a weird thing. I have no idea what it is. Super circuit mechanic. Oh, okay. I know what it is. It's just that as a person who's garbage at redstone, I can't really use that. Palette and brush. Let's make 2 of them. I have already been preparing for this plan and yeah, we do have 64,000 infused ender pearls. We use 1 of them. I have no idea what a node overclocker is. It is from Laser.io. I just read. That one also has a Singularity. Let's make 2. Actually, this is the worst one. It requires almost 10,000 per Singularity, so maybe we use 2 compressors. Nether Star is being made, Mob Soul is being made. Yeah, I guess for the moment, oh, Corrupted Ingot. Aha. There is also a Uranite Singularity, and I think we have enough. I have 52,000 of it. I have been making these things for a while, but let's order 50,000 more, and we take you 2. They don't have EMC, but it should be easy. Also Nitro Crystals. These are the things that I have been auto-crafting over the past few episodes. Let's make 20,000 more. Oh, I just remembered, there is another one. I think it's called Mob Filter? Ah yeah, that one. Uh-oh. StoneBlock. Oh, there's a nice recipe for it. I don't have to go to bedrock, infuse it with redstone, and we're good. I have severely underestimated how many Neutronium compressors we're going to need. So let me set up something and I'll be right back. But here is a StoneBlock. Actually, let's get more and see you in a bit. Okay, we have 2 compressors for StoneBlock because that's 9,000 blocks. Unfortunately for the mob filter, we only have the 1 even though it's 7,000 blocks. 2 for the node overclocker, 1 for the infused ender pearl, 1 for corrupted ingot, and over here we're making uranite, nitro crystals, and source gem. So if we look at the situation with our singularities, these are the ones that we are crafting very slowly. Oh, and by the way, this one is Indirium. It was the cheapest one and we started it like 5 episodes ago. Also, I would like to mention, these are the easy singularities. Some of them are going to be incredibly tricky and I have no idea what to do. Anywho, I did AFK a bit. I got 2 sticks, which is amazing. But I also expanded our controller and then I was thinking, how the hell do we automate the processors? The thing is, a cable is going to be out of the question, so we are going to use entangled blocks, but how? So we do provide Certus quartz. We get the circuit, but the circuit automatically comes here. So automatically we do get the processor. Very important because my patterns are wrong. This one is correct. And the reason that we have tons of processors is that, well, I have been exporting into a drawer, if you guys remember. 1 Certus quartz equals 1 calculation processor. Same for logic. And obviously engineering. I did notice that we have a few extra channels over here, 16 to be exact, so we're gonna have some cheaty cabling. Give me some entangled blocks, give me some cables, actually craft a few more cables. So if we make a connection like this, we would be able to have 8 channels here, which don't require a cable. We can just put the pattern providers. All of them are going to get an entangled block, and you are going to be for silicon. And we want to be able to insert the silicon into this barrel, gold into this one. So silicon, gold. And I just moved the patterns because that's not how we do that. This is going to be Certus on diamonds. So Certus, diamonds. The patterns go in, and some of them are going to be a bit different. We're going to need export buses for the rest. You have crafted, okay. I was hoping for something better. So these barrels are the ones which are different. This one is for silicon wafer, and this one is for redstone. And the third one is actually just for symmetry purposes, it's a press. So the export bus is going to export silicon into that barrel, as well as redstone into the other one. Also, I think you're going to need some crafting cards. Hopefully. Since the barrels were out of resources, there was a huge traffic jam, which now seems to have been fixed. Perfect. We're getting the items. Compared to the inscribers from Applied Energistics, I would say this is faster. It could have been better if we had different lines, but this will do. Again, the wrong corridor. Why do I get lost in my own base? The whole point of doing all of this was to be able to make bigger storage cells. So can we have, I don't know, 20 of them? The 256k, and the answer is yes. Can we have 40? Just in case? Yes. Aha. 40 fading matter. I will explain to you why we need them, but previously I had already ordered 64k ME storage parts, we have 20 of those, and 40 of the 256k. This had me worried for a bit, so storage is nice. I like green stuff. Anyway, somebody mentioned to me in the comments that I'm gonna need more power flowers. I don't really know why. And since I really want to start removing the pattern, here is what we're gonna do. Can we dupe it? I wasn't expecting that, but okay. Yeah, with fading matter it's easy. We got 6. Perfect. Can you make me 200 more fading matter? Probably not. 100? Yes. So I wouldn't really know why you would need more EMC, but I think that's enough. Because even in Not Too Complicated, we didn't have that much. For me, it is the next morning because I had a horrible headache. Shocking, because there's no warp here. Anyways, I noticed that we have a slight issue with the mob souls. We do have a mob farm over here with cursed earth, but it's not very functional. I mean, it has been running for a while and we have 47. Which is nothing. But then I realized we have an awesome OP farm and, well, this is much better. And this is what you shouldn't do. You should lock stuff. So yeah, I switched the mob farms. That's what I wanted to mention. Previously I did not have a drawer for this, I just installed the drawer and removed one. We can try it out. Also for the auto crafting part of the endgame items, I was thinking of using the QIO network, correct? That means singularities should not go to the applied energistic system, it should go somewhere else, in the QIO storage. Which automating that is not going to be a big deal. What we need to do is to change the channel on the ender chests, so that, you know, instead of going to the applied energistic system, we can import it somewhere else. And we're getting quests. Okay, the thing is, I have never touched them, they have automatically gone into our system, so yeah. You're gonna give me the sword of the cosmos. No. Essentially, anything relevant to the endgame is going to go into the QIO network, so what we need to do is to have an importer. That's it. You go over there, storage, and import without filter. Yes. Another very important thing is that I think today is going to be the day of fluids. I have already put some fluid extractors over here with acacia and we're getting some latex. That latex is going to be used for a singularity, which I think it's this one? Yeah. Processing tier 2. Honestly speaking, that's the entire progression of industrial foregoing, but I do believe that industrial foregoing has other uses too, which can be super helpful for us. Basically what I'm trying to say is that we're going to try and automate everything as best as possible. Latex is not the only thing that we need, we also need plastic. You know, in order to make the actual machines. So, let us have a block placer over there, facing the incorrect way. Yeah, now it's fine. A beautiful EM ceiling with acacia, and voila. Yes. This part is just going to be dedicated for making plastics, so a latex processing unit, we have latex, a tank with water, and we want you to extract. We are going through so many ender gates, let's make 100 I guess. Perfect. Tiny dry rubber. We can process the rest with our applied energistic system, so let's just output. While we are waiting for some plastic, let us try to automate these guys as well. They're not fully automated, I just have to put the logs manually. And how are we going to place the logs? Formation planes. This is like the constructor from refined storage, but with applied energistics. We just ask you to place down acacia logs. It's not connected, so it's not gonna place anything yet. And maybe we make this a bit more fancy, you know, with P2P tunnels. Yeah, we have 20, make me 100 more, as usual. So what we want to be able to do is that we want to be able to power these guys using P2P tunnels, obviously. And we also want to be able to extract the fluid using P2P tunnels. That's a lot of tunnels. I don't think different colors of cables are going to connect, are they? We will see. Let me craft a few stuff and I'll be right back. Yeah, that is very true. Different color cables do not connect to each other, but they do connect to fluids. So that is perfectly fine by me. The formation planes now should be working, so if we remove this, you should place one. One day. Don't I have acacia? You're C8C1. You're also C8C1. Okay, I think I finally figured out what the hell is wrong, and let me try to explain to you first. A formation plane is going to place on acacia logs or any other item, provided that item enters into our system. So if you have acacia logs in your system, it's never ever going to place it down. What you need to do is that you need to add the acacia logs to your system, and as it enters, this guy will place it down. But you might notice it's not placing it down. Why? Because you need to increase the priority. So now if I put back some acacia logs into the system, that guy placed it. And this guy did not because it had a lower priority. That makes things tricky, a bit. But it's fun. Probably a super overcomplication of what you should do, but I'm finding this fun and I'm actually gonna proceed with this. Otherwise, pipes are gonna work fine. Anywho, what we're going to do is that we are going to have a subnetworks because you cannot have a P2P tunnel next to a P2P tunnel like so. I mean, this cable is hooked up to a P2P tunnel and is hooked up to our main network. Therefore, you cannot have more P2P tunnels in the same cable. Hence, you need a subnetwork. Also, instead of an ender gate, we are going to use an ender cell. That way, what we should be able to do is that we can hook it up to a P2P tunnel and do something like this. Yeah, we can do it like this. If you look at these P2P tunnels, it's telling you it's the ME P2P tunnel. But if you come here, it's energy. You just have to right click on it with something which has RF. So we shall copy you, and these ones are going to be for power, and we shall be able to extract the power from you. So if I'm not wrong, you should get power. Perfect. Now we need the fluid. For making a fluid P2P tunnel, I think we can use a bucket of milk. Yes, fluid. And now we need to configure the machine so that this is going to be their fluid output. Yes, now you're the output side. It is very important that we do these things because we will refresh our memory. You can have several outputs on a P2P tunnel, but you can only have one input. The flaw with our system over here is that we have 12 inputs, and one output. So that part is not really gonna work, but what we should be able to do is to have an import bus instead of a P2P tunnel for fluids, and then a storage bus with an ender tank. And yes, I do understand that the ender tank is empty, it's because we're putting it inside another tank. But yeah, something like this should work fine. I have switched everything with an import bus and we're getting latex at a decent rate. Without any upgrades, we just have power, which is also perfectly fine by me. All we need is a few dissolution chambers. And you know, using the same system, giving it power, giving it latex, and start auto-crafting a few upgrades. Also, just as a general curiosity, yeah, we can change it. This is the same pattern provider as we have under our other machines, like those ones, but this one is just a cover, so you can have 2 of them in one block. Or 4. And that is very important because we want to be able to hide everything. And I think we have to put this on do not push. Yes, pushing is not good. Thank you. And from now on, push it upwards. I just wanted one for the pattern, that's it. So can we order 20 of the speed upgrades? Will you work? That's good. Yes, that's perfect. The second one started. In a very convoluted and stupid system, we do have auto-crafting for our dissolution chamber, which is good, but now we need to take care of Acacia. I don't really have a better method in mind, but we can have an interface over here, an export bus, and we export Acacia into the interface. So now you should be able to place it. They have changed how interfaces work, and I'm not sure. Let's use an ender chest. Yeah, they don't have a higher priority. That's the problem. So maybe the interface was also working. Yeah, now they're all active. Let's try the interface too. Did I eat my interface? I can't find it. Oh, it went down there. It's okay. So if I remove you, yep, you get it. Well, that took a very stupid amount of time just to make latex, but today is the day of fluids. We need more fluids. And the other fluid that I want is going to be pink slime, obviously. Is there a cheaty recipe? Not really. Would have been nice. So here is a mob slaughter factory and we already have a mob farm for it. The passive mob farm that we used to have no longer works and I do have a feeling that's because of the grass. Okay, dude, chill. We don't need chickens, cows. The rest of you can stay. And so if I remember this correctly, it's almost impossible to remove those fans. It should be somewhere around here. Ah, yes. We found it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to readjust this farm, just by a bit. Also, maybe we should remove you, because you're voiding everything. I got a few range add-ons as a reward. We have a +4, and I think that should be enough for a 9x9 farm. Show me your range. Range is good. Again, just as a very small clarification, I don't think you're going to need pink slime for the progression of this mod pack. I just want to make it because I want a few machines. I keep switching mod packs and then I forget that, oh, here I have the Rod of the Shifting Crust. So many of these stupid things. I like them. We keep them. Generally speaking, what I'm doing at this very moment is not incredibly smart and it's very dark. But here's what we're going to do. We're not going to keep the liquid meat because we don't need it. We're just going to keep the pink slime. So a pink tank, so that we don't get confused. Do you output? Push north. That's not your back. You know, just push it everywhere. I don't care. Thank you. But yeah, the drops are fine. I'm happy with this. There are 2 more fluids that we want from industrial foregoing and one of them is essence, the other one is ether gas. Ether gas is going to be incredibly simple. Essence is tricky. I mean, getting essence itself is not very tricky. The problem is that I need a new mob farm. So first off, what I want to know is that can I extract from the experience obelisk? I can't. Interesting. Do I have to stand on a tank? As you see, the thing is, we're going to need experience for the XP jelly. And that is the one that we get from mob grinding utilities. But I also need essence in order to spawn a few mobs. I can't have them both in the same farm. You do connect, why don't you extract? Okay, I'll think of a solution. For getting raw experience so that we can convert it into jellies, the solution is very simple. All we need is an absorption hopper. We put an ender tank and we color you lime. And we want you to output fluids to the north. Yeah, that's it. I reduced the range on the obelisk, so this guy should not pick it up. So the remaining question is, do you output? Yeah, you do output, okay. That's good. At least something works. I have brought our jelly stuff over here and now it's outputting into a drawer. And yes, I do understand that the rates are garbage, but first let us cover this. And I think one of the main reasons that it is incredibly slow is that these guys are not killing the mobs fast enough. The faster you kill them, the faster you're going to get new mobs. Yeah. One shot. Oh, and by the way, the reason that I have too many sharpness is that it has EMC and I made like 2000 of it. But that is the problem. There is light. How can there be light? I think I figured it out. Light goes through composters. This is something that I absolutely had no idea. Yeah, that was the problem. I guess now we're good. As for the essence, I think we're going to take care of it next episode because it's time to wrap up this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye. No. Wait a second. Just before I forget, I do understand that you would be able to spawn mobs using mob grinding utilities. Ironic, I know. And therefore I'm not going to need essence, but the issue is I need the XP jelly baby and I need it in very large quantities, so I cannot have a farm which gives me mobs and also jelly. In any case, I have to make 2 farms, and if I'm going to make a second farm, at least it's going to be for essence. Bye bye again.